What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Wednesday, January 27th, 2021. My name's Pat Stuthers, and I'm here to break down all the greatest moments from the NHL over the past couple of days, and I'm going to dive right into predictions over the next couple of days, and I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen. I'm going to offer some official picks at the end of the video and some official bets that I think you can make money on. But starting first, we're going to get into the results from the last 2 days. Before we get started, please make sure to like and subscribe. I appreciate all your help, guys. Love to see the comments, love to see the likes. I'm going to keep making great gambling content for you guys. Let's get right into the results from the past couple of days. Over the last 2 days, I went 7-6, which brings my total record to 57-40. We're staying alive. We're keeping our head above water here. That's always a good thing. Still have yet to post a losing day of hockey. So let's get into some of the most electric moments from Monday and Tuesday. The number one thing was the Vancouver Canucks game when Brandon Sutter scored a hat-trick in a 7-1 blowout over the Ottawa Senators. Canucks have been struggling lately, and this was a statement game for them. They'll look to rematch against the Senators tonight. Another electric moment when Jake Muzzin flipped the puck at Matthew Tkachuk at the end of the Leafs and Calgary game. Matthew Tkachuk absolutely lost his mind. He was smashing water bottles, smashing the gate closed. All his teammates were just kind of looking at him. Muzzin just acted like he didn't even do anything. That's what I like to see in hockey. The playful, nobody gets hurt, flip a puck at a guy after he lost the game. It's a great taunt. Get under his skin. They're going to see each other a lot this season. So although it's short, it's going to feel a lot longer of a season in this division. Another electric moment. McDavid breaks Mark Scheifele's ankles, takes the puck in, rips it top corner. It's a goal. It's 5-4 for the Jets, and the Oilers lose. It was a great goal, but didn't really mean anything. Rantanen extended his goal streak to 6 straight games. Brad Marchand, still being Brad Marchand, gets himself a shorthanded goal. Roman Josi scored an electric OT winner where he just basically stretched out and dove to tuck the puck around the goalie's pad. It was an unbelievable finish to win the game for the Predators. And I don't know if anyone caught this, but in the Stars and Red Wings game, it was a completely empty stadium, and some guy in the crowd shouted out, "Hey Larkin, do something," as Larkin was skating the puck up the ice, and everybody heard it. That guy's a beauty. He's just trying to motivate his team. I bet Dylan Larkin played a lot harder after hearing that. Let's talk about some of the devastating moments from the past couple of days, where I realized my bets weren't going to hit. Number one, the Rangers and the Islanders didn't win their games. That's a tough one, because I really thought the Islanders would beat that depleted Capitals team without Ovechkin. I also thought the Rangers would be able to beat the Sabres, but they really got into penalty trouble, and the Sabres looked actually pretty decent on the power play with Stahl and Eichel and Skinner. They have a lot of weapons on that team. Another devastating moment, seeing Max Pacioretty play his heart out, get a hat trick to push the game to overtime and keep my Golden Knights bet alive, only to see them lose in the shootout to the Blues. That was a really tough one to watch. Another devastating moment, realizing that the Anaheim Ducks are kind of playing well. They're keeping games low scoring, and that's kind of what they need to do to give John Gibson a chance to steal one for them. And the last devastating moment, Mark Stone had kind of a greasy hit on Tyler Bozak, where he just sort of shoved his shoulder into him as Bozak wasn't looking and it was away from the puck. Bozak went down hard, and I think he hit his head on the ice on the way down as well. Stone kind of got away with it, so we'll see if there's any discipline on that further. So what are some things we learned over the last couple of days? The Leafs, the Bruins, and the Stars are all on 3-game win streaks, which in a 56-game season is a pretty big deal. John Klingberg for the Stars is one of the most effective defensemen I've ever seen. The way he slows down the game, his overtime assist where he just pulled everyone to watch him, sort of pulls the puck back, gets everyone reaching, and then just feeds it over for a winner. Like, the guy just sees the game on a different level. John Klingberg is one of the major reasons the Stars are so successful right now. James Van Riemsdyk is still scoring goals for the Philadelphia Flyers. He gets in tight to the net, he has great hands, and he just knows how to bury the puck. He's getting scoring on the third line for a very deep Flyers team right now. And the last thing we learned, the Washington Capitals are so good that they don't need Ovechkin, Orlov, Kuznetsov, and Samsonov to win games. They won 2 games without 4 of their best players. It's really not fair when they get back in the lineup. So let's get right into predictions for the next couple of days, who I think is going to win. I mentioned earlier, I'm going to do this completely different for this video. So what I will do is give you the trends for the games tonight. But for the Thursday games, I'm just going to immediately eliminate games that I don't even want to bet on because I don't know what's going to happen. There's no point in me breaking down every single game when there's games that are impossible to choose. So starting with tonight, you have the Chicago Blackhawks as plus 155 underdogs against the Nashville Predators as minus 175 favorites. Preds are 4-0 as a home favorite and 22-10 against teams that have losing records. The Hawks are 1-4 in the last 5 meetings, and the favorite is 7-2 in the last 9 meetings between these teams. The Hawks almost stole one from the Predators, but but they didn't, and I think the Predators are going to take this game as well. Only other game of Wednesday night is the Ottawa Senators rematch against the Vancouver Canucks, who blew them out in the first game. Senators are plus 135 underdogs to the Vancouver Canucks minus 155 favorites. The Canucks are 4-0 in their last 4 Wednesday games and 9-4 after allowing 2 goals or less in the previous game. The Sens are 1-5 in the last 6 meetings, and the home team is 4-0 in the last 4. The way the Canucks stomped the Senators in the first game, I expect this one to be a lot closer, but I'm still going to take the Canucks in this one. I think they beat the Senators. All right, for Thursday night, this is where we're going to switch things up. We're going to do a little portion of the video called Fade That Game, and we're going to go through all the games on Thursday night and talk about which ones you should not pick. Don't even touch them. Stay away from them because you don't know what's going to happen. It's a coin flip. So these are the games that I think you should stay away from. The Predators and Blackhawks was such a close game. The Predators tied it up and then went to overtime, and Roman Josi won at the last second. It was so close. The Hawks could have stolen it. I think the Preds will win in this one, but I would totally stay away from the second game. Game 2 between the Senators and the Canucks. The Senators might come out angry because they got stomped, but they're also not good enough to have that make a difference. So I would stay away from this game or potentially take the Canucks. Bruins beat the Penguins in extra time. It was such a close game, and the Penguins are always dangerous underdogs. I'd stay away from this game. The value is on the Penguins. Rangers and Sabres, stay away. The Flyers and Devils, I'm actually going to save for later. I'm going to keep the Islanders and the Capitals. Lightning and Hurricanes can stay. Get rid of the Panthers and the Blue Jackets. No idea between the Flames and the Habs. Fading the Wild and the Kings until the Kings stop playing well. Keep the Stars while they're hot. Blues and Golden Knights first contest was way too close to call, so I'm going to get rid of this second game. But if I had to lean, I would take the Golden Knights. Keep the Colorado Avalanche. They love to score goals. Getting rid of this Ducks and Coyotes game until the Ducks stop playing well. Depending how the second game goes between the Senators and the Canucks, I might keep this last game. And I'll hang on to this Leafs and Oilers game just for fun. Let's take a look at those remaining games for Thursday night. Up first, you have the Philadelphia Flyers as minus 155 favorites against the New Jersey Devils as plus 127 underdogs. Flyers are 5-1 in their last 6 Thursday games and 8-3 in their last 11 after scoring 5 or more goals in the previous game. The over is 6-1 in the Flyers' last 7, and it's 5-1 in the last 6 meetings between these teams in New Jersey. I think the Flyers are going to take both games. I would take them and the over in this game. Up next, you have the Tampa Bay Lightning as minus 132 favorites against the Carolina Hurricanes as plus 110 underdogs. There's some interesting stats here as the underdog is 4-0 in the last 4 meetings between these teams, and the home team is 9-4 in the last 13 meetings. There could be a bit of value on the Carolina Hurricanes, but the Lightning are 20-6 in the last meetings between these teams, so I would probably lean towards them. Up next, you have the New York Islanders as minus 137 favorites against the Washington Capitals as plus 114 underdogs. The Caps have stolen 2 games without 4 of their best players. I don't know if they're going to keep doing it. That's why I'm leaning towards the Islanders in this game. Interesting stats on the under. It's 9-1-1 in the Islanders' last 11 overall. It's 6-0 in their last 6 road games. It's 3-0-1 in the last 4 meetings between these teams. And the Caps are also 2-12 in their last 14 games following a win. My lean on this one would be the Islanders and the under. Next game is the Dallas Stars and the Red Wings. I'm going to keep riding the Dallas Stars while they're hot. I think the NHL season is going to catch up to them as they missed the first couple of games of the week, and their schedule is just going to be completely packed for the rest of the season. So I think that will affect them with fatigue and injuries. It'll start to pile up. But for now, ride the Dallas Stars. They're hot. Up next is the Sharks and the Avalanche. The Sharks are 0-4 in the last 4 meetings in Colorado, and Colorado is absolutely putting up goals. They went down early in the first game, and they came storming back. I think the Avalanche are just going to start to dominate now. The favorite is 40-13 in the last 53 meetings, and the home team is 38-13 in the last 51. Up next, you have the third game between the Ottawa Senators and the Vancouver Canucks. Now, I would be tempted to think that if the Canucks take the first 2 games, the Ottawa Senators might be able to steal one. If the Senators win the second game, the Canucks are almost definitely going to win this game. That would be my play on it. That's the way I would pick it. Last game I'll talk about is the Maple Leafs and the Oilers. The Maple Leafs are 4-0 in the last 4 meetings in Edmonton. They're 19-7 in the last 26 meetings between these teams. The favorite is 16-5 in the last 21 meetings. And the Leafs are 5-1 in the last 6 overall. I'm going to take the Leafs in this one. I think the Oilers are going to lose. Okay, so my official picks, just win or loss. Starting with Wednesday night, you have the Chicago Blackhawks against the Nashville Predators. I am going with Nashville. You have the Senators and the Canucks. I'm going to take the Canucks. And then on Thursday, I'm going to go with Bruins, Rangers, Flyers, Islanders, Lightning, Blue Jackets, Habs, Wild, Stars, Knights, Avs, Yotes, Canucks, and the Oilers. Again, don't pick every game. Get rid of the games I told you to get rid of. Just look at the teams that you think will actually win and maybe make a parlay out of 1 or 2 of the games. So my official bets for Wednesday and Thursday night. Starting with Wednesday, I am going to take the over in the Vancouver and Senators game once again. I might even parlay that with the Vancouver Canucks winning the game. Yeah, I'll do that. That's my official bet. And then on Thursday, I'm going to take those games that I told you to potentially pick, and I'm going to build a little parlay out of it. So the first one is Flyers, the Stars, and the Avalanche to win their games in a 3-team parlay. And then in separate bets, I'm going to take the Islanders to beat the Capitals, the Hurricanes to beat the Lightning, and the Leafs to beat the Oilers in the last game. So that's it for me. That's what I think. Those are all my bets, my official picks. That's all my advice. Thank you guys for listening and watching. Please like and subscribe. This is the original, hardest working, most entertaining, most accurate NHL sports gambling podcast on YouTube. My name is Pat Stuthers. I will see you all on Friday with some updated weekend picks and all the latest news in the NHL. See you then. Cheers.